Hi, everybody. It's Yvonne with Freight Broker Chic. Welcome back to another segment. Please don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to the channel. I definitely appreciate you guys tuning in. I'm getting such great responses. And so today, back again, I have got my mentor, trainer, teacher, confidant, the guy who saves me from all failure in this industry, Dexter Levette. Yay! I love doing that.
So you do.
Yeah. So recently, someone, I did a video and I think I talked about uh, tenders and tea. And so I got a question about a layover and what was the difference between a tonneau. Now maybe it wasn't that one. It was another video. We were talking. Maybe it was a training video. Anyway, yeah. It was one of the train because you weren't on the tenders and tea, so it was a training video. All right, but the question, going back to the question, was what was the difference between a tonneau and a detention? Oh, that's what it was. It was the detention and tonneau one.
We've already done
Because I
that one.
think we did that one, but then we brought up layover and we said, well, we didn't cover that. And so someone asked the question, well, what is the difference? What is a layover? And so I asked him if he would come on again real quick. Because in this industry, what you have to remember is life happens. I mean, anything that can go wrong can go wrong on any given load, even if it's just due to the weather, if it's due to the equipment breaking down, maybe the customer gave me incorrect hours, maybe the appointment that they gave me for the carrier to arrive, maybe there was an issue with that. I mean, there's so many things that can cause a carrier to arrive late to a receiver to pick up, or to an origin to pick up, to the actual customer to pick up the original load. I mean, so many things can happen. Maybe he got held up at his last unloading, and then now has to go pick up his next load. Maybe he's got to, shut down for his hours. All kinds of things can happen in this industry, and you, as the broker agent, need to be able to mediate between all parties and keep all parties up to date on what's going on, what is to be expected. Everyone needs to know what to expect, and that's part of your job. And so, but back to the original question, I wanted Dexter to talk a little bit about what a layover is, what causes it, how it works, who pays for it, and then, what happens after that. Go ahead, Dexter.
Oh, thank you. A layover is simply when a truck gets to an origin or a delivery and for some reason isn't allowed to either pick up that day or deliver that day, and they have to lay over until the next day to be able to actually either pick up or make the delivery.
Okay, so you're saying he's laying over, meaning that's
Spending the night.
Spending the night.
Spending the night.
Okay, so
exactly.
where does he do that?
In his truck.
He does that in his truck. Okay.
Yes. Now,
Right.
I mean, there might be a hotel somewhere around that has truck parking,
Okay.
and if he wants to, maybe he can go there and park
So
his truck.
who arranges that? Does it depend on who made the error? Does it depend on, is that worked out in the rate con? Like, okay, so he gets there and, bingo, layover. Okay,
Well,
so.
no, it doesn't work like that. I mean,
Okay.
if he gets there and for some reason they say, well, we had a machine go down and the material you're supposed to be picking up is not produced yet, but it'll be ready tomorrow at 12 o'clock, then he has to lay over till 12 o'clock.
Okay. So that would be on the customer. You said the material is
Right.
not ready. So that's the customer's issue.
That would be on the customer, and the customer would be responsible for paying for the layover.
For the layover.
That is correct.
Okay. And so is that negotiated kind of as we go, or
Well,
is there
I
a set
mean,
rate
usually what happens, it's a set rate. Usually
Okay.
industry standard is $250 per layover.
for that? Okay.
Of course, the dispatcher would contact the broker The broker would contact the shipper or said customer and put in the request for the layover pay.
Okay.
And since of course the customer would know the situation at hand, they would go on and authorize it, send a new a new load tender with the additional $250 on it to us, the broker, and then we would send out a new rate confirmation to the actual carrier for the $250 layover.
Okay, so the driver gets there and realizes it's a customer's fault. He's got a layover. He then calls his dispatcher. The dispatcher calls me or you, the broker agent, and says, "Hey, my driver's got a layover. It's your customer's fault." And then I reach out to my customer to say, "Hey, driver's saying he's got a layover. Production, the product's not ready." The customer says, "Okay, we understand. All this is done via email now. I mean, document, document, document." That's what I always tell you guys. Document, document, document. Even if I speak to them by phone, as I've said many times, I'm still going to follow it up with an email. So then the customer comes back and says, "Okay, you're right. We spoke to, whoever. And so, yes, he can lay over." Now, does he go and check into a hotel, or does he just, who decides where he's going to stay? Because you're saying he's getting $250.
The driver has to decide himself where he wants to stay. If he has a sleeper cab where he wants to sleep, most truck drivers will just sleep on site, go on and shut down and just stay
there right on the yard
to the morning.
Until in the morning.
Depending on how the driver feels, he might have saw a hotel coming in that he saw had truck parking. Maybe he knows the area and stayed there in the past before and decides to go to this place. But it's up to the truck driver where he wants to spend his night at. Just that he's back there the next day to pick up the load, at the specified time.
Okay, and so in the meantime, we're doing the back end work with getting a modified tender, showing the additional $250, and then we send an updated rate con to the dispatcher to ensure that the driver will get paid. Now, all that's done immediately.
That's correct.
All that's done immediately, because I see you guys on some of the Facebook pages saying, "Well, the broker told me to go do this, the broker told me to go do that, and I'm still waiting." Now he's not calling me, and I'm not raining on anybody's parade. I'm sharing with you what we do in our business model. Like, if that happens, we're going to get that for you up front. We're not going to have you calling me back and forth, blowing up my phone, emailing me, saying you can't get in touch with her, and what do we do? Well, who's going to pay for this? We're on our game. Okay, so that's why we're letting you know, if you're going to be doing training with us, this is the proper way it should be done. I don't know why anybody is out performing a service and got your driver, your carrier out there performing services which you have not gotten approved by your customer. That leads everybody down a rabbit hole, because once the service is performed, they may pay you, they may not. So the point that I wanted to make is make sure that you do everything on the front end. If I say anything, I say front end, front end, front end. Take care of it on the front end, so that on the back end, the only thing you're doing is sending out that rate con, and all the driver has to do the next morning is pick up the load. So from there, he has spent the night. That's the layover. We fast forward. Next day, he shows up on the yard, or he slept on the yard, and he's there in line first thing in the morning to pick up the load, correct?
That is correct.
All right, and so once he picks up the load, then he's on his way, as if nothing had ever happened. So I just wanted to come on and explain to you how a layover works, so that you guys know the difference. So we've talked about a TONU, TONU, and then we talked about detention, and then we talked about, today, we talked about what is a layover. And you guys can go back and watch those videos if you've not seen them, just to get updated and understand what the difference is, okay? Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. At the end, my face will come up, I believe, on your right, my left. And if you just click on that, you'll actually be able to subscribe. Don't forget to share. Hit the little bell. Make sure it's solid, so every time we post a video, you'll get an alert that we've got a new video up. Thank you guys again for tuning in, and we will see you next time here on Freight Broker Chic. You guys have an amazing day. Bye-bye.
All right.